What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video of playing Wuyong, as always. How are you doing? First of all, you know, just to be nice. How are you doing? Second of all, have y'all watched the new shit that's coming, the 5 new characters and all that shit? I actually did not. I knew the spotlight was happening, but I actually did not expect it to be that much shit. Honestly, I was expecting something like the roles. I know people were talking about the team ups, like adding team ups, which honestly I don't think they should. I think it's cool that sometimes to win you have to use the what's called you have to use a character that you're more comfortable with rather than just using someone that I don't like the fact that some characters would get value out of the simple out of just existing, out of just being there for the team up. I don't like that. I feel like value should come from your mastery with a character, not from, like, I don't want someone's mastery of a character to be less worth it than like the what's called than the team up, and I feel like that's what the team up is inviting. But I saw that they added the what's called sub roles, and I think that's a really good idea. Some of them I do think are going to be broken. I know there was the thing where you like keep a part of your what's called of your ultimate charge after ulting, and I know it was on Lucio and Kiriko, I think, or maybe not Kiriko, but I think he was on Lucio, and I think that's kinda OP. No, I think it was Lucio and Zenyatta. I think that's kinda OP, especially with Lucio, because I feel like the Lucio, the ultimate, is so good that being able to like get like 25% of it after ulting, like, I feel like that's going to be like perma ultimate. It's gonna be ultimate after ultimate after ultimate. I feel like that's just going to be really OP, but I still like it. I feel like it's probably going to be the same as it was with perks. They were really weird at the start. They weren't really, some of them were really OP, some of them weren't. I feel like it's going to be the same with this, but I do think it's they're going to get the balance right. I think they pretty much got it pretty well at the moment with the perks, and I think they're going to get it really well with the sub roles. I think it's a good way to like add new shit, add something new to every character without like being incredibly hard to like balance. Also, the new characters, I think they're all really interesting. I think they're all really cool. Except I honestly can't wait to solo ult the fucking jetpack kid, because I know the character is cute and all, but that character is going to, for console players at least, is going to become what's the fucking shark, the dog shark thing from Marvel Rivals. Whatever that thing was for Marvel Rivals, this cat is going to become for Overwatch, for like console Overwatch at the very least. But I honestly really like it. I think it's a really cool, I think they're all really cool additions. I'm really excited to try them out. Again, I feel like it's just adding shit for everybody. That's always going to be good. But after that, I did want to talk about something else, something that I was thinking about recently that doesn't involve Overwatch, unfortunately. I was sitting and I was being a little bit nostalgic about. I think you guys know at least if you've played, if your first language isn't English like it is for me, I think all of you have the experience of playing a video game and not understanding anything from it. Like for me, the first game that comes to mind is Grand Theft Auto Vice City, because it was such a good sandbox game, and I had no idea what was going on. When I went to like the letters with missions, I had no idea what they meant, but it was, I liked it anyways, and I feel like that kind of plays into the mystery of that video games used to have, the not knowing what some things really are. Like, I don't know how to explain. The best way I could say is like, back in the day you didn't really know what was possible in a game. You would try shit just to see if it was possible, if it worked, you know, all that shit. Back in the day you didn't really know that, but nowadays when you've played all of video games, you kind of know what's possible, what isn't. Even if you don't like look it up, you kind of already know. Like, that's why you can't really like just you can just say, oh, just don't look at the wikis, don't look at anything, and you won't be able to tell. You can't really do that, because you're still going to be, I guess, disappointed. You're still going to be able to tell what is possible, what isn't. That's why some games like Dark Souls are really cool, but because if you don't check the wiki, you really don't know what the fuck is possible, what isn't, because they're so fucking random. So nowadays games don't really have that mystery, which I do think part of it is what's called it's nostalgia and just how things are in general. I don't think it's fully just the way, just that games aren't made like that anymore. Although I do think it might be a factor, but I don't think it's just as big as it is. I don't know. I feel like sometimes people say that games aren't what they used to be, and I just don't agree. I feel like there are still good games being made, still games that can rival the video games nowadays. Video games are still good. There used to be there are shitty video games now. There used to be shitty video games back then as well, just people don't remember them. But there used to be. People only remember like the good video games. But there were shitty ones as well. But the thing is that I still stand by the fact that video games aren't as mysterious nowadays. And there is nothing more mysterious about a game, especially when you don't speak the language it's in. Like, I remember when I was a kid, all I knew is that the first button on the menu was to start the game and the last one was to close it down. And that's all I know. All I knew. I knew nothing else, you know? I didn't understand what was being said in the cutscenes. I didn't understand like the instructions. I didn't understand anything. It might have been different for people like I think some games do have the translations for other languages, like maybe like French and all that shit. Usually, as a Romanian, you don't have like Romanian translations. You never did. It was always just English, and if you didn't understand it, well, fuck you. It is what it is. I remember some games when I discovered Google Translate. I remember opening Google Translate and opening the game and just letter by letter copying each word into Google Translate to figure out what was happening. It was dog shit. Back then, Google Translate is alright now, but back then it was awful. You couldn't understand a single thing that was being said with Google Translate. It did not work that well. But still, sometimes I do try to turn games into language I don't understand just for the mystery of it, but the problem is it just doesn't work anymore. It doesn't feel like that anymore, especially with now that sometimes I want to understand what's actually happening in the games, you know. But still, I feel like there is something lost with it. Maybe Souls-likes aren't as much like that, but I still think there are. Maybe it's just because I've grown up. It's probably just that. I'm older now, and it's holy fuck. And it's just I'm not amazed as much as I used to be amazed, you know. It's also probably partly because I play so many video games that now I'm not really amazed by any of them. There is not really that much what's it called, mystic around it. There is, so it just doesn't do it for me anymore, you know. Like, the thing about video games is that in a way they're kind of like porn. I guess I shouldn't say they're like porn. I feel like that's a little bit too much. They're kind of like I think the best comparison would be music. Once you listen to a lot of like radio music and all that, eventually all of it sounds the same. Eventually you get bored of it. It's not necessarily that the music is bad or it's just not as good, it's just that it feels the same again and again. That's why you'll see like people make fun of people who have like really weird taste in music. Usually those people have listened to a lot of music so much that unless something is weird and unique, they don't feel like attached to it. I don't know if attached is the right word. They don't really like it anymore. They want something that's unique, new, that they haven't listened to before. I think it's the same with video games, that after you've played a lot of video games, you need something different to really like capture you with like mystery and shit like that. It just it isn't there anymore, you know. Like Far Cry, I feel like Far Cry, like even the newest ones, if you give a person who's never played video games in their life Far Cry, I feel like they're going to enjoy it. I think they're going to like it, they're going to be amazed, they're going to think this game looks really good, it plays really well, it's really interesting. But if you give someone who doesn't, who plays, let's say, who's played 1,000 games, if you give them Far Cry, they're probably not going to really like it. They're gonna feel like, yeah, it's just a shooter, you have skills, you have everything, and they're going to get bored of it. I think that's partly the other reason why gaming does become less fun. Like the reason I've been able to like just keep gaming personally is because I have started playing games that just aren't normal. Like Disco Elysium is a game that is so unique that it's different. You can say that it's the same thing you've played over and over again. It is something new that is just you don't play as often. And I think that's why indie games are so popular now than they used to be, you know. But yeah, that's about it. See you guys the next time.
I've been fucking hoes and popping pillies, man, I feel just like a rock star.